My chosen case study country is Jamaica. Throughout this presentation, I will be discussing why I chose Jamaica and three of the island's main pressing issues in today's world. These include healthcare, popular culture stemming from social movements in the past, and globalization and tourism. I will conclude with a reflection on what I have learned and how it has impacted my perspective of the country. Why Jamaica? I was born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica, where my family currently resides. Situated in the Caribbean Sea, Jamaica is home to the most beautiful beaches, stunning natural attractions, and some of the world's most famous and iconic men and women. Jamaica has a very rich and diverse history, coloring our past. Jamaica was first colonized by the Taino tribes before the arrival of Christopher Columbus on May 5, 1494, during his second voyage. However, it was on his fourth voyage he became shipwrecked by a storm that stranded him on the island for a year. This planted the seeds for a rich history of conquest, colonization, and slavery that Jamaica holds. Hence, Jamaica became a hub for slavery, as shortly after the Tainos were enslaved and began suffering at the hands of the Spaniards. This age of discovery led to what was known as the virgin soil epidemic. The Tainos were completely defenseless to the diseases introduced to the Americas by the European colonizers, including smallpox, malaria, yellow fever, and many other new strains of viruses that ravaged their unfamiliar bodies. This outbreak of disease nearly extinct the entire native population by the 1600s. However, it was not only diseases that killed the natives, but also overworking, famine, and abuse from slavery. The Spanish colonists also committed sexual violence towards the Taino women, resulting in mestizo children. Regarding healthcare, the availability and quality of healthcare and their institutions has continuously posed as a concern over the years. Even though healthcare is free at public institutions to citizens in Jamaica, there are great costs that come along with this theoretical blessing. Doctors blame the lack of resources for the poor healthcare experienced across the island. There have been reports of numerous occasions when surgeries have to be postponed or cancelled due to shortages of equipment or malfunctioning equipment. The medical buildings themselves are poorly kept and maintained. For example, the elevator rarely works at Kingston Public Hospital or KPH, so surgeries have to be postponed until it is fixed. There is also an insufficient supply of surgery equipment and gowns, as sometimes there are no antibiotics and patients have to be asked to buy their own and take it to the hospital. For example, in 1851, Jamaica suffered from a poliomyelitis epidemic and cholera outbreak that took the lives of approximately 400,000 people, 1/10 of the island's population. They have also experienced spurs of malaria, which are infectious insect breeds in stagnant water due to the lack of drainage and thus flooding on the island that is very prevalent, the chikungunya virus, and Zika. However, Jamaicans believe in traditional remedies, especially herbal medicine, the bush, and spiritual healing. Jamaicans believe the most purely African religious and healing traditions, as well as the strongest obeah, are carried on by Maroons, as well as other African people in eastern Jamaica, especially in contemporary Jamaica. My next topic that I will be discussing will focus on popular culture. Although debatable, many consider reggae to be a social movement within Jamaica. The country gained independence from Britain in 1962 with citizens predominantly of African descent. Music, however, has always been a part of Jamaica's history. It was considered a medium for expounding on cultural values, norms, and social issues. Jamaica is widely known and authentically characterized by its friendly people, mellow vibe, flavored cuisine, and being home to the world's fastest man. However, what made this little island as influential as it is today was the global recognition of reggae, made possible by Bob Marley. One love, one heart. Words that have become infamous and transcendent across the world amongst different countries, religions, races, and minds. Jamaica is home to reggae and its iconic creator Bob Marley. Popular culture, however, can be defined as culture based on the tastes of ordinary people rather than an educated elite. Reggae has always been a part of a Jamaican's heart and soul. It evolved in the late 1960s from ska and other local developments like calypso. However, most reggae music lyrics are influenced by Rastafarian ideas. Reggae is definitely a staple in Jamaican culture. Reggae has influenced societies throughout the world, contributing to the development of new countercultural movements, particularly in Europe, in the USA, and Africa. And this is a quotation by Jeremy Kroubu Dagnini. The next topic I will be discussing is globalization and tourism, the key to Jamaica's growing economy. Jamaica is not only known as the birthplace of reggae music, but also for its tropical array of attractions that captivate approximately 30 million visitors. The land of wood and water relies heavily on its tourism industry, especially ecotourism. The Caribbean Tourism Organization reported that in 2016, there was continued demand for travel to the region, and a record 29.3 million visitors came to enjoy the unequaled and diverse experience that Caribbean had to offer. The number one tourist attraction in Jamaica is Dunn's River Falls, cascading 600 feet down to the Caribbean Sea, with other unique experiences including rafting down the Martha Brae River, scuba diving with the marine life in their natural habitat, enjoying the white sand beaches and our diverse mountainous landscape. Tourism generates high level of foreign exchange to the island and more jobs for Jamaicans who are willing and able to work. This often comes along with a more reliable and larger wage. Thousands of Jamaicans are employed either directly or indirectly in the tourism industry. After reviewing all of these main topics that are pressing issues in Jamaica's world, I've gained a greater sense and understanding of what my country has to offer and the ways in which we need to improve. And this is a part of my reflection on the case study. I enjoyed learning more about my country and about its history, its past, its present, and the future, including its tourism, the popular culture, social movements, our colonizations, our conquests, and that plays a huge role in who we are today. As I mentioned before, our history colors our future, and each main topic that I spoke about is very important to Jamaica today. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.